Good morning and thank you for joining us today on The Insight. Today, we'll be looking at defections. Is Nigeria turning into a one-party state? What is actually becoming of our political parties, oppositions, and this wave of political realignment? We've seen governors, senators, let's say legislators, from the north, from the south, all moving towards the APC. Giving rise to the question, is Nigeria really tilting towards a one-party state? Today is Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State. In the winds is that the governor of Bayelsa State would follow suit with another governor from the north getting set. What is really happening? Would X-ray this issue and give you a post-mortem analysis with the focal point of Southeast today bows out. Southeast bows out. Enugu leaves PDP for APC. And touchlighting on this issue is Comrade Ben Asogwa, Enugu State Chairman of Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC. Comrade Ben, it's a pleasure to see you after a long time.
The pleasure is mine.
All right.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes. So we are looking at this issue. Southeast today bows out. The last man standing, that's Enugu State, leaves PDP. Now, let's look at these issues. This governor's board exit from the PDP, does it signal a future for the Southeast political identity or a departure or lack of political identity in all?
All right. In the first place, let me make it clear that people are beginning to understand that the name political party is just a kind of name. It doesn't really symbolize the attitude of people or even belief. That is where we differ from other parts of the world. Like if you go to the United States of America, if you're a Republican, people will know. If you're a Democrat, they will know. And if you're and your attitude towards leadership is determined by the strata of politics you play. So, but in this part of the world, political party stuff is just a name. It doesn't really change much in people's attitude towards leadership or politicking. So why I said that is that it's true that Enugu will be answering APC in fact, it's now answering APC. Yes. Because I'm sure that the governor has already made the declaration.
Yes.
It's already in the news that Enugu is now APC state. If you go around the Enugu, you can't see the governor with a poster bearing umbrella anymore. You would rather see broom. Okay. So, and like the question you asked me, if it portends something else. To me, I can tell you that the only thing that is constant on earth is change. Ordinarily, one wouldn't have believed that a time would come when the whole of Southeast will back off PDP, because the stronghold that PDP had from 1999 till this particular period in time where that Southeast has now exited completely. Southeast has been their stronghold. It was never an area the PDP contemplated on whether they would win an election or not. But be that as it were, one major thing you have to understand is that a lot of factors determine where the people look at politically. If you look at where it is taking us to, from 1999, it was only the former governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, that led Enugu as a governor under an opposition party. All the while we've been in the ruling party, which was then PDP. So, and I know quite well that why it doesn't really portend danger for the South is that I don't think we're going to see any worse situation in any other political party than we've even seen in PDP. PDP was not actually reciprocating the level of support that Southeast gave from 1999. Because looking at it critically, the first president that emerged from PDP was Olusegun Obasanjo from Southwest. After him, Yaradua from the north came. And unfortunately, he died while in office. He died in active service. And Jonathan from South came in. So when Jonathan finished, or rather, when he was still hoping to go for another tenure, he was now defeated by APC. And it went back to the north. And when Buhari was ending his 2 tenures in office, the office of presidency returned to the south. And people had expected that a political party like PDP should have ordinarily zoned the position to southeast. Reason being that the southwest had collected their share. South collected. It was only southeast from the south that had not produced president within the period, or that has not produced, because of to date they have not.
Yes.
And everybody expected that PDP was not going to even contemplate. It would have been a serious chase if PDP had zoned the position to southeast. Not a matter of because we are from southeast, but out of sincerity of purpose and fairness. People expected that equity to be made manifest by PDP zoning that position to southeast. It never came. And that was even what led to Peter Obi's exit from PDP to Labour Party. If PDP had zoned the presidential position to southeast, I don't think Peter Obi would have found himself in Labour Party. It was that alone that created that. Even as Yaradua was going, Buhari was going out, Atiku Abubakar didn't deem it necessary to say, okay, it is the turn of the South, let me not contest. You see, the level of selfishness among politicians is becoming so obvious that you see a situation where people will believe that it's either me or nobody. It's not that way. It's not as if it doesn't exist in APC. It's in fact, because they are all the same group of people with the same mindset. But at least the one in PDP was so obvious that Atiku Abubakar from the north again grabbed it. Assuming it happened the way PDP planned it. So the north would have continued with that position after 8 years. That would have amounted to maybe 16 unbroken years. So that was when the Southeast began to realize seriously that their interest is not actually protected in PDP. From that moment, initially, the Southeast was not seeing APC as a party that they should even look at. It was the level of neglect and marginalization from PDP that made the Southeast to begin to consider the option of leaving PDP. Initially, if a governor is leaving PDP for any other political party like APC, you see people frowning and believing that he's on his own. But today I can tell you for sure that if you interview many stakeholders in Enugu, they will tell you that the governor took the right step. Because they've seen it's too obvious. It's not just palpable, but physically obvious that the Southeast doesn't seem to have any future with PDP. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not a practicing politician, but a labor leader, but I can tell you that being a Nigerian or being a Southeasterner, I'm sure that the way they are going, it doesn't seem to. And to make things worse, when Atiku now finished his own turn of destroying PDP or showcasing selfishness, Wike came up with his own. To the extent that Enugu that has been, okay, as Wike was doing his own, Enugu was the only remaining state in PDP in the Southeast. And when you are now bringing the position of secretary, of the national secretary of the party to the Southeast, you didn't give the only governor standing from the Southeast the opportunity to at least make a contribution. You felt because you are too powerful, you can do it on your own. So for me, I believe practically that what is happening is not unexpected. What is not unexpected is that if you are in a house and you are not wanted in that house, the next thing you do is to leave. Yes. So I can say for sure that we may not know the future, but there is no level of marginalization that you will see in APC that will be worse than what has already been seen in PDP.
Okay. All right, comrade, we brought you here for your honest opinion. We never expected that you speak as a politician because we know you're not one. But from all that's been said, is it safe to say that PDP failed the Southeast and Enugu State?
Very, very fair and very, very clear. There are so many points to buttress that. It won't be a political statement nor an exaggeration for one to say that Southeast was not treated well by PDP. PDP did not reciprocate the level of support that Southeast has all this while given to the party. So, because if you look at the situation, just like what I narrated, everybody that, in fact, you remember that before the 2023 election, PDP set up a committee on the issue of zoning of the presidency. And when it got to a point where Atiku Abubakar began to discover that if this thing is zoned to the south, he would be completely disqualified from contesting, they made sure that they spoiled that show and said everybody has the right to contest. Even the Wike that hails from the same zone where the immediate past president from the party came from, that is Jonathan, still had to jump into the ring, struggling to become the president again. And when all those things ended and Atiku Abubakar emerged, he didn't even see the Southeast as the right people to pick for the position of vice president. That was not in his mind. So if Atiku will continue deceiving us to say, when I finish, you know why I'm talking this way? Ordinarily, people would expect me to just talk on labor matters. In fact, before becoming a labor leader,
you're a Nigerian.
before
and you're
becoming a
citizen of Enugu
labor
State.
leader, I became an indigenous of Enugu State. I became a Southeasterner.
Sure.
And even when I finish as a labor leader, I would live and die an Igbo man.
Yes.
And a Nigerian.
And this is why we brought you here.
And so, if I'm talking, I prefer even to speak as a Nigerian, as an Enugu person, as an Igbo man I am, because sometimes when you mention portfolio, it limits you. It makes you feel like you can't talk on this. Why shouldn't I talk? So, but the truth there is that what the governor did today is long expected.
Okay.
Because the way things are going, the way the PDP is going already, we've seen that come 2027, Wike would want to grab PDP. Atiku has already provided an alternative at one other side that if PDP did not work for him, he will go and grab ADC. What about the Southeast?
Okay. Now that you're talking about it, comrade, now let's, in your opinion, let's see or look at the factors that drove the governor and his team to abandon the PDP after years of loyalty to the APC. Can we highlight on those issues? You've mentioned Wike, you've mentioned Atiku. What other factors?
You remember the issue of Udo Okoye and Sam Wanyang concerning the position of National Secretary of the party. You see, one thing people have to understand is that no matter how selfish you are, you should be selfless enough to know when you've collected your share and when some other person should have even a chunk of something, even a little, a speckle of whatever you have together. But when you want to collect everything, it becomes pitiable. Somebody like Yeso Wike is from the South, and the secretary was to emerge from the Southeast. And you still had to come from your own zone to the Southeast to determine who becomes the secretary. And when the only governor from the Southeast in PDP said it should be this person, mind you that they were not fighting for the national chairmanship, just secretary. In ranking, you have the national chairman of the party, even the vice chairman by ranking is higher than secretary. Though administratively, the secretary may be more strategic. But at that point, Wike still decided who should be the secretary. And when the governor said, if you didn't do this, I will take my leave, they didn't mind him. And I've come to realize something about Peter Mba. Most of his statements, in fact, his statements are never political. In the sense that when he talks about anything, he is mean about it. So, and that is him. So they should have understood that for him to have said that, he will make do that threat if they saw it as a threat. And they should have also respected his opinion as a person. There was no regard to that, and it wasn't just a personal opinion. It was the mindset of Enugu PDP members that this should be. And if I were Wike, no matter the kind of interest I want to protect, I should also be fair enough to protect the house. Though I don't even see Wike as protecting the PDP as a house. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done what he did. So the major issue, the last straw that broke Kame's neck was the issue of PDP national leadership,
Okay.
which sealed the fate of PDP in the southeast.
Okay. I want to abandon the course of question I wanted to ask next. Let's look a bit at the Wike factor. Don't you think that what is happening today was the ultimate aim for Wike?
Of course, the way he's going, his actions and inactions in the opposition party, PDP, the major opposition party, is very clear. He seems to be working for a particular master that is his master.
Okay.
So that one is
So
very
we
clear.
can give today as a victory for Wike.
Yes, as far as Wike is concerned, he has not lost out.
Okay.
He's still on track
Okay.
because he's somewhere working for the same
So
master.
perhaps we'll see him welcoming Peter Mba with a handshake.
But as far as Peter Mba is concerned, he took the right step. As far as even Enugu people, majority, I will not say everybody, because there are still people in PDP. As far as the PDP remains a registered party in Nigeria, there must be members. So, and there are still people there. But I know that the majority of Enugu people believe that Peter Mba took the right step. Even as a labor leader, I believe so. Because one, I can't really understand why Wike should be allowed to hijack PDP to that extent.
Okay.
And for Wike, he has achieved his aim. But for Peter Mba and majority of Enugu stakeholders, they have also achieved their aim. One, Peter Mba believes that he has reconnected Enugu to the center. Because you know the way our system works is that winner will always take it all. In other climes, it doesn't matter the political party or whatever. When you finish election, the president is the president of the nation, not president of a political party. So by implication, he's not even supposed to consider with the political party the governor belongs to. Knowing fully well that if you come to Enugu, even when Peter Mba was in PDP, there are still people in APC that voted him. Therefore, in the interest of those people at least, none of the dividends of democracy meant for Enugu people should be denied them.
Yeah. Okay.
But it doesn't go that way. So we will always look at it as a matter of this one is our own, that one is not our own. And with this step Peter Mba has taken, he has also aligned himself with the federal government, believing that it will be quite easier to even attract some level of favor for Enugu people. Though, I must tell you that for me, it's not even a matter of political party. Like I told you before, political party is just a mere name. It's just like a vehicle.
Yes.
So, but when it comes to the reality of it, it has to do with what you can do. Peter Mba will not be a different person because he has joined APC. If he was a bad governor, he would have remained a bad governor. If he's a good governor, he will remain a good one. And if we believe he's doing well, that is in APC cannot just change it.
Okay.
That is one thing we have to understand.
Okay.
So it's even a matter of the person or persons involved. 2023 election is a pointer to that. You remember that some people in big political parties never believed that Labour Party was going to do anything. But you saw a situation where somebody will come and cast his vote for maybe somebody in PDP in this one, and then throw other votes for some other persons in Labour Party. Telling you that it's no more a matter of political party, but individuals.
Okay.
So we will get to a point where if you are coming out to contest election, people will look at you as an individual. The only problem we have is the electoral system. If we have free and fair election, you can run to any party you like. After running to that party, people will come back to give mandate to the person they want. But I must tell you that even if Peter Mba had gone into, I don't know the least party in Nigeria, maybe that a party that doesn't even have any position.
Maybe the one they're about to register. And
no.
other,
Even if Peter Mba had gone into that party, the same crowd would have still followed him.
Okay.
Because it's a matter of that political cloud you have.
All right.
If you have political cloud, the wind of politics within that environment will still follow you.
Okay. Now, I still want to tilt towards the federal, and I want to ask, is this notion of one nation, one party becoming a reality in Nigeria?
In fact, you should understand who Tinubu is. Tinubu is mastery when it comes to this kind of game, pushing everybody to the wall until you queue up.
Okay.
You see, so dramatically you can see that there is almost near zero opposition to 2027 for him.
Okay.
Why I said that is that he has perfectly disarmed every strong hand that would have posed a threat to his second term bid.
Okay.
So, and if you look at it, I must tell you that it's dangerous for a nation as large as Nigeria to run almost one political party system. But why I'm not bothered is that even when we had some other people in other political parties, take for instance the National Assembly, they went there and queued up. None of them has ever presented anything as an opposition that you look at and say, this one is coming from the opposition. Even their understanding of themselves depends on some other things and not even political parties. Okay. Since you've been watching National Assembly affairs, when did you see a divide in the system as a result of political party? So they have already made Nigeria a one-party system. A good number of other people in other political parties are not even working for the parties they belong to. And that tells you that most of them have been cowed into one line, a one-line queue, which is actually dangerous, because what it implies is that there won't be checks and balances. We don't even hear much about all these other aspirants in 2023 election. Those people that could not clinch the power. It's only somebody like Peter Obi, and sometimes Atiku Abubakar, geared towards the selfish end. It's only people like that you hear say one or two things. Even the Labour Party that would have posed strong opposition has almost gone into oblivion. Even as a Labour leader, I feel uncomfortable with what is going on there. I remember that when we were reviving Labour Party, somebody like Abure was even battling to remain as the chairman until after the election, the 2023 election. But afterwards, before one could know it, you know this saying in Igbo, Nakunesio Bike?
What does that mean?
Yeah, wealth gives strength.
Okay.
And so, when he gathered much strength above his body mass, he became heavier and could now say, I must remain the chairman. So, and because of a lot of manifestations of selfishness and ugly politics in the party, even those of us that are Labour leaders have started seeing things differently. And I must tell you for sure, as a citizen of this country, I've come to realize that most of our politicians are same. Most of them. What they're all looking out for is opportunity. When you give them the opportunity, they do the same thing. Therefore, the issue of even one-party system, I don't know, but I must tell you that when we had other parties, there was no serious opposition, both from National Assembly and otherwise. Now we are running towards one-party system. That means that it is just when you have in the National Assembly, both House of Rep and Senate, all you hear is you don't hear ni again. So you cannot even hear ni. So except if they want need to, and if they want need, the need will be the yeah. So and going by that, we know quite well that before now, it has already started happening. And these are the ones you know that are the campaign. The campaign will continue. You see, one of the reasons the campaign will be easy is that there are a lot of loopholes, even in our electoral laws, that allow such. In other climes, parties win election. But in Nigeria, individuals win election. Forget that we mentioned political parties. It's in parentheses. Okay. But in reality, it has become a personal affair. Okay. We've built strong individuals, but weak institutions. Institutions including political parties. Before, you find out that the chairman of a political party has so much powers that he could summon the governor of his state, and the governor will be shaking. But today, it's no more like that. So I must tell you that we are already running into a very troublesome situation politically.
All right.
There is no doubt about that.
All right. Before we go on short break, I want to ask, is the federal might buying the Nigerian governors?
Oh, there is a kind of, I see it as rhetoric. Your question is rhetoric in
All
the sense
right.
that it has answered itself. You can already see it. It's either they buy you by gentle buying or by cost, because they can cost you into joining them. Once they set one trap for you or tell you that without this you cannot go anywhere, you will be the one to advise yourself. So, but I know that it wasn't actually from what happened in Enugu that led to the campaign of the governor. I don't think it, even if he had it in mind before, I don't think it would have been this easy if PDP was to be forthcoming in terms of favoring or fairness to Southeast, particularly Enugu State.
Okay. On that note, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue to probe these issues. Thank you for staying with us. We're still estraying Southeast bows out. Enugu leaves PDP for APC, and we are discussing with Comrade Ben Asogwa, Enugu State Chairman of Trade Union Congress of Nigeria 2UC. Comrade Ben, we've been estraying this issue, but I want to ask, is the governor decamping to APC a gamble?
I don't see it as a gamble. You know why I don't see it as a gamble? He was not even under threat politically. And the question you're asking me as if I'm the spokesperson for the governor or PDP. But anyway, in any case, let me say.
No, I'm asking as an electorate and an observer of what is happening in Enugu State.
It's all right.
You know the power blocks in
Of
Enugu
course.
State. So that's what I'm asking.
Let me tell you why I said that it wasn't a gamble at all. Because one, he's not under threat, and he's not trying to maybe choose the less risky situation in this matter. In the sense that if Peter Mba had remained in PDP to contest election, I don't think there would have been much threat to him, except the fact that PDP is already a divided house.
Okay.
Let me tell you one dangerous thing with PDP today. Don't be surprised that during 2027 election, they may not feature in some positions, because they might be there fighting on legitimacy and end up not meeting up with INEC requirements, the electoral rules and guidelines. So, and if that happens, that would be a dangerous thing for him. I believe that he also looked at that. But the summary, and the reason I felt, or I feel it's not a gamble, is the fact that every other person, an average politician in Enugu that has been into PDP all this while, is getting fed up with what is happening in PDP. An average politician in Enugu is getting overwhelmed with the level of selfish politics in PDP. So it's not as if you are leaving because if you didn't leave this one, but we've seen already clearly, like I told you, that PDP is already a fallen house. I'm sorry to say that. They may win election tomorrow and come back as governor, no problem. But the way it is today, it's already a falling house. Because in a situation where somebody is even playing key role from outside, somebody is working for the ruling party and playing key role from outside as the godfather of the political party, and you know that PDP is not more an opposition party because it's a subsidiary of APC, if I may say. Under the leadership structure that PDP has today, the PDP leadership is a subsidiary of APC.
Okay. All right. On that note, let's take a moment to watch the speech from the governor.
Of reflection, gratitude, and renewal. Today, I stand before you to announce a break from the past and to share a decision that will shape the road ahead. This concerns our values, how we organize ourselves politically, and how we secure the future of our projects and our people. I offer my sincere thanks to everyone who has contributed to this journey over the past 28 months. At the top of the list is Enugu. At a time when confidence in political leaders had almost collapsed, you chose to believe in us. When I declared that tomorrow is here, it struck a chord in your hearts. You put aside long-held skepticism and stood by us. Without that trust, the transformation we see today would not have happened. Let us pause for a moment and consider what this transformation looks like. It looks like smart green schools nearing completion and primary healthcare centers in all the 260 electoral wards in Enugu. It looks like crime down by 80%, maternal under 5, and infant mortality.
All right. From that clip, we've watched the governor very particular about the masses of Enugu State, thanking everybody for their support all along and citing their achievements so far across the 260 wards in Enugu State. But comrade, some analysts or opinion molders have sat on the same chair you're sitting now to say that the governor decamping from PDP to APC will be a political suicide.
We are entitled to our opinion, but I must ask, what makes it a political suicide? Is it a political suicide on the ground that if, for instance, if I want to vote Peter Mbah tomorrow, I won't vote him because he has joined APC? That is not true, except if I actually never wanted to vote him. But my reason for not voting him cannot be on the basis that he has joined APC. By the way, who are members of APC and who are members of PDP? Is it not the same class of people? What is the difference? So, like I told you earlier, Peter Mbah is Peter Mbah. His name has not changed. His genetic components has not changed. It has not changed his gene. If Peter Mbah is a bright person, he is bright. He cannot be dull because he's now in political APC. If he's a dull person, he's dull. And that is the truth. So when you look at it on the ground of saying if he goes into this one, it's political suicide, that is because of political slavery we've thrown ourselves into all this while. Because initially we've always believed that it's either this political party or nothing. But for me, it's just like Peter Obi. Believe me, if Peter Obi moves to any political party tomorrow, there are people that must move. There are people that must cast votes for him. They won't even wait to ask the competence of that about the competence of the party.
Okay.
But as we talk, what would have turned to be a kind of political suicide is Peter Mbah remaining in PDP. Because why I said that is that looking at the way PDP is going, like I told you earlier, they might be busy fighting while 2027 election will be going on. They might be busy showcasing selfishness. And let me tell you, the house he was in has lost its pillars. So if a house has lost the pillars that hold it, you know that collapse that is imminent. So I believe quite well that it would have been more dangerous politically for Peter Mbah to remain in PDP. Considering the fact that as we talk, PDP is still battling to ensure that the National Convention is held. So, and I'm almost sure that by the time, if the care is not taken, by the time they finish that National Convention, they will continue battling for leadership. Because somebody like Wike cannot give up. If he didn't install his people there, then whoever emerges will never survive.
Okay.
And if he wants to install his people, he must install people that he will dictate for.
Okay.
So if you look at it, as for me, it is not political suicide. Rather, an emancipation from political slavery. PDP should understand.
Sorry. An emancipation from political
because,
slavery.
Yes, some people decided to enslave Southeast into PDP, believing that, you see, let me tell you, if anybody wants to make you believe that without a particular thing you cannot survive, the only way to prove yourself is to leave that thing and still survive. So some people, some politicians now believe that the only hope Southeast has is PDP. With the level of marginalization in PDP, it is now better we leave. Whatever we see in some other political party will not even be worse than what we've seen. So why I said it's emancipation from political slavery is that if people have been using you and you're not getting any fair share from them, they are enslaving you. So they're making you believe that you can't go ahead without them. So let him also go ahead in another political party, whether it is called APC or whatever. The point, for instance, the workers of Enugu State, what are the things we need? Good governance, good salary package, and payment on time, and good working environment. So if you give it to us, then somebody will come and tell us that we should not vote that person because he's in APC. That one is a joke. Because none of these political parties or their names have ever saved anybody. Dividend of democracy does not come by the name of political party. It would have been so if we had political ideologies that run in line with political party ideology.
Okay.
But the ideologies that the leaders of this country come into office with are personal ideologies. So if it were a matter of political party, where a party will say, oh, this is what we believe in, you will now say, okay, if you are deviating from this party, we may not blend with this opposite belief. But can you mention any political party in Nigeria and say that this is their fundamental, these are the fundamental things they believe in regarding leadership? The answer is no. If you elect me as a governor tomorrow, I will go in there and lead based on my principles and what I believe. But initially or originally, it is supposed to be that if I go in, I will key into the political party ideology, the ideology of the party that I was elected from. But nobody does that in Nigeria anymore. If you go into US, you cannot be elected under Democrats, a Democratic Party, and you start presenting the ideology of the Republicans. It won't work. But in Nigeria, there is no clear divide in terms of character or approach to leadership between APC and PDP.
Okay. In the past 10 to 12 years, there has been a mistrust of APC in eastern Nigeria. Do you think that the Enugu will be able to trust APC in Enugu State?
All right. Yes, you are very right. Our people so much distrusted APC. But let me ask, the PDP we trusted from 1999, what have we achieved from them? What can we say that if not that is PDP, if not for PDP, we wouldn't have gotten this? Have we emerged in any key leadership in Nigeria because of PDP? Has PDP, for whatever reason, considered the Southeast that trusted the party? They have, for any reason, said, okay, let's give this one to Southeast. Everybody hands off is for Southeast. Nobody has ever done that in PDP. So, if you don't trust me, but I always comply with every agreement I reach with you, and you trust some other person who always disappoints you, it will get to a point when you understand who to trust It's not a matter of the person you trust, but the person you should trust. So at this point, the PDP has not been trustworthy as far as politics is concerned. PDP has not been so trustworthy in the sense that they've never given us any form of fair treatment. And if you're not getting fair treatment, yet you trust that particular group of people, at a point you talk to yourself. So on the issue of trust, why Easterners will begin to readjust is that we've seen that even if we did not trust APC, PDP is not a better party to trust because they have not been forthcoming. So we have no regret. I believe that with time, we'll come to understand. But for me as an individual, I've come to realize that it's not a matter of political party.
Okay. All right. Let's look at the dividends, this political shift, how it would affect governance, development, and benefit from the Enugu in the state.
For me, I just see the issue of how it will affect as secondary.
Okay.
In the sense that if a governor is not performing, he's not performing. We have a good number of APC states in Nigeria that are not doing well. We cannot say that they are doing well just because the governor is APC. If there will be good dividend, or if there is good dividend in Enugu, it's because the governor is doing well. Not a matter of maybe, I don't personally believe that a governor that has not been doing well will all of a sudden begin to do well because he has decamped to the ruling party.
Okay.
But if you are doing well and you decamp to the ruling party, it may augment that it may add it may have synergic effect on your performance in the sense that you have better access to the center. But what I'm just trying to say is that practically it's a matter of the person or persons involved.
Okay.
Not just that now that we've turned to APC, everything will now be Uhuru. If everything is to be Uhuru, it's because the governor has the capacity. If he doesn't, then the center will not even do much. If it's a matter of just being in the center, I wouldn't want to start mentioning states because we're not here to discuss other states. Then those other states would have been doing wonders.
Okay. Now, let's take a look at where the governor has moved to, the APC. Don't you think the governor may find it difficult to be able to harmonize the opposition he may encounter in APC? Talk about the just resigned Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uchennaji. He resigned from his appointment at the center, but he has not resigned from the party, for instance.
Of course, that is politics. Politics is a matter of interest, and I believe quite well that they should know how to settle themselves. What we need as Enugu people is good governance and the good dividend of democracy. Whatever happens in their political party, we shouldn't be too much concerned about that. But I know quite well that with the way things are going already, like I told you earlier, in Nigeria we practice this saying, winner takes it all. So by implication, the governor is the political leader of his political party in the state. So every other person must queue under him, or if you start playing opposition within the party, you may be declared an anti-party member.
Okay.
So, and I know quite well that even what led to Uchennaji's resignation is not directly on the issue of the governor, the campaign to APC, but it borders majorly on certificates.
Okay.
And so, and when you look at that, if the governor goes, now that the governor is the leader of APC in the state, they can still be in good terms. I don't know the level of relationship that existed before now, but I wouldn't want to bother myself about that. Even in your family, husband and wife can quarrel, parents and children may quarrel. But all I know is that, yes, he may encounter some resistance, but considering the fact that he's the governor, you already can see what is going on. That even before he made the official pronouncement, a lot of tinkering has already been done, showing that there is a new sheriff in the house.
Okay. Before I go into looking at the PDP, again, I want to ask, since we are looking at the southeast, about Enugu, the governor of Abia State was in Enugu State a few days ago. Do you think it's possible that we'll see another movement in Abia State?
I won't be surprised. You know why I would not be surprised? Remember that Alex Oti was contesting election before the 2023 election.
Yes.
Under which party?
The APC?
Under APC.
Okay.
So I can tell you that Alex Oti is even more APC than Peter Mba,
Okay.
in the sense that he has been in the party. All his political allies or tentacles come from the APC. So he even sees himself as one who went into Labour Party out of zero option and has now emerged as a governor. And you've seen what is happening in Labour Party already. Because it's a divided house, he may still key into it, having already seen that the whole of Southeast is tilting towards APC.
So,
Because apart from Abia, that is Labour Party, and Anambra, that is APGA, the other three states are APC. So, and I will not be surprised if Alex Oti moves. For me, if he moves, so be it. Provided he's still providing the dividend of democracy that people haven't seen all the while, or is improving. So, if those things are coming, as for somebody like me, I don't bother so much about political parties again.
okay.
Because I've seen that there is no rooted ideology in political parties.
All right. So for Governor Oti to, if it happens, it will be a homecoming.
It will be another, yes, his own will be more homecoming because Peter Mba has never been in APC until, he was never in APC until now.
Okay.
But Alex Oti only left APC for 2023 election. So whenever, I believe that whenever he gets to APC gathering or wherever the APC members are, they will see him like our brother in another home.
All
you
right.
see?
Okay.
So it won't be a surprise to me.
Okay. Now, the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, is expected in Enugu State to officially welcome the governor to the APC. Is that how important the Southeast, I bet Enugu State, is to the APC?
Do you know what it means that the governor of a state is the campaign?
Let us
A
know.
state that has been in a particular political party for approximately 26 years. Enugu has been in PDP for approximately 26 years. And now you are launching Enugu into APC. It's a good catch that can even attract the president himself. It's not only that the governor is moving. You know, there are situations where you see the governor moving like a frustrated person who has been abandoned by the political family and is looking for a place to hide. In this case, the governor is carrying the whole crowd of his leadership.
Yes, we've been told 260 councillors,
Yes.
plus all the elected and appointed
In fact, even
office
as
holders.
you are talking about elected office holders, the leadership of PDP, you've not discussed that. Have you forgotten that even the chairman of PDP in the state resigned from PDP? That tells you that the governor did not just move to APC. The governor moved the whole political structure to APC. So why should it now be a surprise that the vice president is coming to welcome him? It's a big catch. He's not just catching Peter Mba, he's catching the whole of Enugu State.
Okay. Given that Governor Seyi Makinde has dismissed the defection of Peter Mba to APC, in summary, what do you think is the fate of PDP in Enugu State and Southeast?
Already, you know the fate already. You know the fate. You see, when a child that had wealthy parents all of a sudden loses both parents and become a helpless orphan, you already know that the fate is bad. So that is the situation that PDP is facing today. PDP that had, that, as we talk now, you see, initially PDP had one leg in the south of Southeast. It's like a table. It was like a table with one leg, and the one leg is not at the center. The one leg at one side. You know, if a table has one leg and the one leg is at the center, it can still hold the table. But when the one leg is at one corner of the table, that table cannot stand. Today, that one leg has been removed. So can you still assume that PDP is standing? It's a mere assumption. It would be a mere assumption and wrong assumption to believe that PDP is still standing when the only remaining leg has now been lost.
All right. Do you have any word of advice to the governor, the government of Enugu State, and the Enugu State people now that the governor has moved from PDP to APC?
All right. My major advice is this. The people of Enugu State are looking forward to seeing even better dividend of democracy. We expect that having joined APC, that the governor, we expect him to take the good aspects of APC and leave the bad aspects for them. Because as we talk, we know that there are some components of APC that we do not cherish. So we want him to consider himself as Peter Mba, which I believe is his ideology, more than he considers himself maybe as APC. The reason I'm saying this is that you know what happened when governors formed Governors Forum. We thought they were going there to cross-fertilize ideas, but the ideas they were cross-fertilizing were more of negative ideas, where they will come together and say, that minimum wage, nobody should go and pay it. We are saying no, we cannot pay. And all of them will come out and say no. So the APC people should not teach him their bad parts. He should take good parts and improve on it. And we also, my own advice to Enugu people is that we've gotten to a point where political parties should not be our problem. Our major center point now should be the individuals, the leaders in question. So if you believe in Peter Mba, political parties should not be your problem.
All right. On that note, Comrade Ben Asogwa, Enugu State Chairman of Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
All right. And to you, our wonderful viewers, remember your views are very important to us on The Insight. Reach us with the hashtag The Insight, all at Aneke TV on Facebook, X, TikTok, and YouTube. I still remain your host, Uche Osai. Till we come your way tomorrow. Bye-bye.